Hey y'all. So we're going to pick back up in verse 4. So Leviticus 16:4. But Aaron shall come into the holy enclosure in this way, with a young bull for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen undergarment, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his body, and be girded with the linen girdle or sash, and with the linen turban or mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments. He shall bathe his body in water and then put them on. He shall take of the congregation of the Israelites 2 male goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Listen to this note that's in my Amplified Bible. It says, since the priests have been warned by the death of Nadab and Abihu to approach God with reverence and godly fear, directions are here given how to the nearest approach might be made. Within the veil none must ever come but the high priest, and he but one day in the year. And that's what we're reading. It's the Day of Atonement. The only time that the high priest could enter into the Holy of Holies was on the Day of Atonement. And you see, the Holy of Holies is where the presence of God dwelled. Now, it's really hard for us to imagine here, now, what our lives would be like if we could not experience the presence of God. But the Israelites could not. They did not know his presence. They were not intimately acquainted with the Father. So let's keep going. So on this Day of Atonement, the high priest would take of the congregation of the Israelites 2 male goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall present the bull as the sin offering for himself and make atonement for himself and his house, the other priest. He shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. Aaron shall cast lots on the 2 goats, one for the Lord and the other for a scapegoat or removal. And Aaron shall bring the goat on which the Lord's lot fell and offer him as a sin offering. But on the goat on which the lot fell for removal shall be presented alive before the Lord to make atonement over him, that he may be let go into the wilderness for dismissal. Aaron shall present the bull as a sin offering for his own sins, and shall make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bull as the sin offering for himself. He shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off of the bronze altar before the Lord, and his 2 hands full of sweet incense, beaten small, and bring it within the veil into the Holy of Holies, and put the incense on the fire in the censer before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the ark of the testimony, lest he die. He shall take of the bull's blood and sprinkle it with his finger on the front or the east side of the mercy seat, and before the mercy seat he shall sprinkle the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the sins of the people, and bring its blood within the veil into the Holy of Holies, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. Thus he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanliness of the Israelites and because of their transgressions, even all their sins. And so shall he do for the tent of meeting that remains among them in the midst of their uncleanness. There shall be no man in the tent of meeting when the high priest goes in to make atonement in the Holy of Holies within the veil, until he comes out and has made atonement for his own sins and for those of his house, the other priest, and of all the congregation of Israel. Whew. Already. And I've read through this several times, and each time I feel like there's more and more and more detailed instructions of exactly how this is supposed to be carried out. And so that went through verse 17. We are going to pick up in verse 18 tomorrow. I will see you then. Bye, y'all.